Martell Holt has always been known for his ability to twist situations and spin them in a way that makes him look like the victim, but now the truth is becoming clearer than ever. What at first looked like a normal custody battle between two people who could not agree has now turned into something far darker, something that shows patterns of manipulation, control, and financial desperation. This situation has fans genuinely worried for Melody Sherry and her 4 children, because what is happening inside that Madison County courtroom does not look like a fight about parenting anymore. It looks like a battle over power, control, and money. The judge in this case had given Martell a direct court order. He was told to undergo a psychological evaluation and counseling. This was not optional, not a suggestion, not something he could delay until he felt like it. It was a legal directive. Yet, 2 full years have passed, and Martell has not completed it. Not once. 2 years of ignoring a judge's order is a big deal, and fans are asking the same question again and again: how is this man still allowed to get away with ignoring something so serious? If it were Melody who ignored court orders, people strongly believe she would have already faced consequences. Yet Martell continues to walk around freely, filing appeals, dodging responsibilities, and behaving like he is above the system. The situation is not only about him ignoring counseling. Martell has already been found guilty in court before. He even admitted on camera to certain things that were not okay to do. The receipts and proof are out there for the world to see. And yet, despite admitting his own behavior and having a jury find him guilty, Martell is still appealing the decision. He is still dragging this case out like there is something left to fight for. But many people believe the fight is not really about his children. It is not about being a father in the way children need. And for the first time in years, there is real pressure on the system to act, control over how she lives her life, will they do it, control over money, will the court finally say enough is enough, when you think about Martell's life after another way to delay and avoid responsibility. That's what fans are waiting to see. He lost the lifestyle. Until Martell faces real consequences, who helped build him nothing is going to change. And instead of accepting that loss and starting over as a grown man should, he decided to use the court system to try and make Melody's life responsibilities while trying to control the narrative. Every time she begins to move forward, and the ones who suffer the most are the kids. Back into court. This is why so many people are calling for the judge to step in and do something real this time. If that means shows 30 days in jail, fighting to be a better father but is fighting to keep his ex-wife to finally make Martell wake up and realize that this is not a cycle of legal battles. These are children's lives. Fans are furious at the system. This is about stability too. They are wondering how many times someone can ignore court orders, and it's long past time for him to face the reality of his actions. Some people believe the judge is being too lenient, allowing Martell too much freedom to stall the process. Will the court finally hold Martell Holt accountable? Imagine if the roles were reversed. The consequences of years of ignoring Melody court ignored orders, counseling for 2 years, or will he pull another stunt to avoid responsibility once again, fines, or even custody changes by now? People are watching closely. But Martell? Melody is moving delay after delay. The kids deserve better. It is no wonder fans are starting to say the court are ready for resolution. Melody and the children. Some are even suggesting that the case should be moved out of Madison County because of how long this has been dragging on without results. The saddest part of this entire situation is the children who are caught in the middle. Melody and Martell's 4 kids are not little toddlers anymore. They are growing up in a digital age where everything is online. They can see comments, they can read articles, and they can sense the tension around them. They are old enough to understand when things are not right. These children are not only dealing with divorced parents, but they are also witnessing their father using the court system as a weapon. They are seeing him refuse counseling that could help him become a better parent. They are watching him drag their mother's name through the mud in public while presenting himself as the victim. Fans have been saying that these kids need protection not just physically, but emotionally and online too. Because sooner or later, they will know exactly what happened. They will see who fought for them and who used them as pawns. The hypocrisy in Martell's actions is another thing that people are calling out. He has no problem showing off his son with Ariane Curry all over social media, yet when it comes to the kids he shares with Melody, he wants tight control over what is posted. He demands rules and restrictions for Melody, but he does not follow those same rules himself. That double standard makes it clear that this battle is not about the children's well-being. It is about keeping control over Melody and keeping her under his thumb, what makes things worse is that Martell is not even subtle about it. He shows up late, delays hearings, finds excuses, and does everything possible to slow down the process. He is not trying to prove he is a good father. He is not trying to show responsibility. He is trying to trap Melody in a loop of legal battles that drain her time, energy, and resources. This is why many fans are now calling it psychological warfare. He is using the courts as a weapon to control her life long after their marriage ended. Melody, on the other hand, has been the complete opposite. She has not been online ranting. She has not been dragging him in interviews. She has been focusing on her children, her businesses, and her peace. While Martell is stuck in the past trying to relive old fights, Melody is building her future. She is showing up for her kids. She is making moves, running businesses, and setting an example of strength. This contrast between them is exactly why people support her so much. Martell is reacting emotionally, while Melody is planning strategically. Martell is trying to win temporary fights, but Melody is building a lasting legacy. The financial side of this case cannot be ignored either. Many people believe that this custody battle is not really about the kids at all, but about money. When Martell lost his marriage, he lost the financial security that came with it. Melody has continued to succeed and build businesses, while Martell has struggled to maintain the same level of stability. Now, instead of putting in the work to rebuild his life, many fans believe he is using this custody fight to try and reroute Melody's income back toward himself. Whether it is through child support, shared earnings, or control over how the kids are presented publicly, people see his actions as a money grab dressed up as concern for the children, and yet, despite everything, it is not working. Melody is not folding. She has shown remarkable strength throughout this entire process. She is proving that no matter how many games are played, she will not break. In fact, many women watching her journey see her as an example of resilience. They see how she has stood tall in the face of emotional warfare, and they draw strength from her story. While Martell tries to play games in court, Melody is living proof that true strength comes from refusing to be broken. The most concerning part, however, is Martell's refusal to complete the psychological evaluation. 2 years without following through is not forgetfulness. It is not just bad timing. It is intentional. And that raises serious red flags about his mindset. Many people now believe that this is not just stubbornness, but something deeper. Some fans have even said that maybe he needs inpatient psychiatric care, not as punishment, but as a real step toward healing. Because if a man can ignore such an important court order for 2 years, what does that say about his willingness to change? What does that say about his priorities as a father? The truth is becoming clear to everyone watching. This fight is not about the kids. It is about ego, pride, and control. Martell does not want Melody to move on without him. He cannot stand that she is thriving, glowing, and building a life without his approval. That is why every court hearing feels like an ambush. That is why every delay feels like another way to keep her tied to him. But what he fails to see is that the longer he drags this out, the worse it makes him look. Fans are no longer fooled. They see his motives. They see the manipulation. And they are calling for real consequences. At some point, enough is enough. If a man refuses to obey court orders, the system has to hold him accountable. Otherwise, the message being sent is that court orders mean nothing. Accountability means nothing. And the well-being of children means nothing. Many believe the time has come for serious action, whether that means fines, loss of custody, or even jail time. Because without consequences, Martell will continue to drag this out forever. The sad reality is that Martell may believe he is winning, but in truth, he is losing. He is losing respect. He is losing credibility. And most importantly, he is losing the trust of his children, who will one day be old enough to see the full picture. Meanwhile, Melody continues to rise. She continues to show strength, grace, and determination. And that is something no court battle can ever take away from her.